Yo, you are now locked into the crossover DXB of myself, Myers, Freek in the building. What are you saying to me, bro?
Ben, been good, man. How you been?
Yeah, I'm all good. I see you wearing that sauce today.
Jeez.
Just easing up. Dropping the heat, wearing the heat. I see you, yeah?
You know what I mean?
Come on. Listen, no further ado. Let's keep this moving, yeah? We've got a very special guest in today. Originated in Toronto. Found himself in Dubai. There's a lot to talk about. To be honest, I just want to get into it. We got the big JRJ in the building. What we saying, bro? Come on, vibes.
Appreciate you guys having me, bro. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
You know, I've been wanting to do this for a while, secretly.
Oh, yeah?
This is one of those shows where I'm like, I like the format. I like the energy too. So
I appreciate it. It's just organic. It's raw.
Yeah,
Be yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not going to attack you. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Before we get into it, I believe you and Freek have a relationship.
Yeah. It's my guy.
So can we get into that? Because Freek is somebody that speaks highly of you.
Gang.
So it's only recently I've done my research. So we're going to obviously learn a lot today and get into it. So how do you two know each other?
It was kind of, I think 2019, when I was like, I think I released Weeknd. And one of my boys were like, yo, listen, you need to take this to the next level. And I still released it. It was like, I think it was March 2019. And then one of my friends was like, yo, you should try to hit up someone from Flash, or you should hit up someone from the concerts, right? And as soon as he gave me his Instagram, it was Jay, right? I texted him. I was like, oh shit, this guy follows me, right? Bro, I was typing, I deleted. I typed again, I deleted. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, man. I sent the track. I said, well, like, bro, you should check this shit out, you know? And he replied, bro, I already checked this shit out.
Jeez.
Facts.
I think it's fair to say, if that's the case, you're a man that obviously does his research.
Bro, I pay attention, you know, and especially coming into a new city, I didn't want to come here like I knew what, like, everything I did in Toronto was what I did in Toronto. And it gave me the experience, but I also wanted to come here and understand who the players are and who was doing what they needed to do. And I saw Weeknd like almost instantly when I came here, and I was like, yo, I don't know what this guy's saying, but this shit is fire. Like,
it's a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a vibe. I'm like, I don't know anything he's saying, but I'm all for it. So I followed him, and when he messaged me, I was like, bro, I'm already up on it, bro. I'm already there.
It's funny because Freek invited me to one of his videos, and whilst it was going off and I'm enjoying myself, I'm thinking to myself, I'm in this video, but I ain't got a clue what Donny's saying. So the authorities could come and get man tomorrow and send me back home, and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about this on there. But
Myers was like, yo, you probably, this is someone I don't know, you know? And Myers in the video is doing this.
I know, gang. Yeah, we were at the same shoot. I was there as well.
Oh yeah, of course. I met you there briefly, but obviously we didn't get the time to chop it up and stuff like that. Shouts out to LB as well. He was in the cut. Quickly, you mentioned Flash.
Yeah.
What is Flash? Talk to me about it. I'm not.
Okay, so Flash, obviously, Jay's gonna actually put his input in it. But for me, Flash is a company that runs the entertainment in Abu Dhabi, right? And soon they're doing the whole region. Soon, that's what I'm seeing, you know. And I think they're the first to actually like properly like try to get artists, international artists, to perform in Abu Dhabi. I'll tell you from my experience as a guy that's been raised in Abu Dhabi, and one of the first concerts I saw was organized by Flash. And Jay's gonna tell you the details.
Yeah, no, that's a good detail. And it's good because you've been here from inception when they started the company. And the company's been around, I think, 12 years. And I recently just got joined. It's been 3 years now. But Flash produces live entertainment across all segments of entertainment. They do concerts. They do government events. They pitch for other events. We do the National Day, which is the big government event. Anything entertainment we touch. And like Freek said, it's an agency, a company that has bigger ambitions for the GCC as a whole. So it's replicating what these guys have done over the last decade, and then bringing it to somewhere else that is in the region that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. That's good actually. Shout outs to Flash, because you know what? Since being here, I've seen certain man underground grinding. The likes of Freek, a few other artists as well that are really trying to put the city on. We had a conversation with a guy called Big Hass. And talking about paying homage when you come here. Paying respect. Yeah, I'm saying checking in. I think that's important.
100%.
But before we get into it, I want to rewind a little bit. So you're from Toronto. Okay. Was you an events promoter? Like, what was your role there? What was it like growing up in the T? I know it's quite similar to London. We was having a little conversation off mic. Similar dialect.
Jamaican influence.
You know the vibes. So talk to me about growing up in Toronto, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm born and raised in Jamaica, and then I moved to Canada when I was 9, and I've been in Toronto pretty much ever since, up until I moved here. I started doing events with Director X and Taj, which is his manager. They did events throughout the city, and me and my buddy was like seeing these guys and how they're moving. They were bringing celebrities in the city when there was no celebrities other than the ball players. And what they were doing, just nobody has done it before. So I was like, bro, that's it. That's what I want to do. I've always looked up to a guy like Diddy, and Diddy was like the ultimate promoter. So I was like, that's the blueprint. This is the blueprint. And I started doing events. We started doing Echo Fest. We have a promo team, and I have a picture with Drake in that promo team.
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah, it's some legendary shit. So we did that event, and then I just kept doing events. And one of the breakthrough was I've been traveling, and I always travel every year because that's my interest. I like to experience new places. And when I was going to these cities, I would see that they have day parties and these day brunches and stuff like that didn't exist in Toronto at the time. I know it sounds like, oh, this is everywhere now, but like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, innovative.
That didn't exist.
Yeah, early doors.
Yeah, and it didn't exist for my audience, like it didn't exist for people that look like me, and like it wasn't there. So we started an event called Day and Night, which is a day party, went from 3 to 9 p.m. And it just shook the city up because there was nothing like it. So we were doing 2,000-3,000 people a week. And ever since then, I was like, all right, I found my calling. I'm good at bringing people to a space. And I was like, this is what it is. So yeah, we started doing events. Ultimately, bought a nightclub in Toronto with my partners at the time, and kept doing events, and ultimately met the CEO of Flash Entertainment.
Right.
Here I am. So,
okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of pockets into it. I'm just trying to give the quick overview.
I'm listening. I'm wondering what pocket I should tap into. Like.
For me, I really want to know, like, what's the legendary moment that been in Day and Night, like for you as a promoter? Like, what was those? I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell, and like legendary moment where a lot of people came. Like, when was the first time a celebrity stepped into your event, like, and you're like, oh shit.
Yo, you know, the funny thing is, the first celebrity was the homeboy. It was Drake. I mean, and at the time, he was a rising star. The city supported him on a whole other level. So, I mean, he came and Future DJ'd as well, and that was kind of like the kickoff. Then we had Jcole, then we had Rita Ora, and then it was a snowball effect of celebrities. Anybody that came into the city and happened to come on that Sunday was like, yo, I'm coming. We even had Universal Music reps be like, all right, I got this guy coming through. Like, can you take care of them? And that was it. You know, legendary moments, honestly, for me, it wasn't more so about the celebrities. It was about creating a community that got together every weekend and just like vibed out. Like there was no issues. It was, I know we were talking about music back then. It was very eclectic. We were playing deep house. We were playing, you know, reggae and all the stuff. And it was just needed for the city. And that was the legendary moment for me. Being able to create a space. I know I've said this before, but, you know, people that we still know got married from meeting at those parties. You know what I mean? So like those, like being able to create a space where people could meet and come together, share ideas. That was the most.
That hit different. That hit 100%. Different as well. When you create something from nothing, you see it get to a certain stage, and sometimes when you're creating, you don't necessarily take the time to look back and see how far you've come. And then when you realize that actually, let me just see what I'm doing and evaluate the situation, that's when it hits you and you're like, rah, I should pat myself on the back to see how far I've come. Look what I've created. Because sometimes you're working so much, you don't even, you know, appreciate what how far you've come. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you asked yourself 5 years ago where you'd want to be, it is exactly where you are. 100%. So you should give yourself flowers as well. I think if no one's going to do it, you should do it for yourself. Easier said than done. But you should always check in with yourself as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that is important.
And I'm sure like what you started, a lot of people got inspired to start doing the same 100%, thing you're doing. Like,
100%.
I can see it.
It was definitely a moment for the city where new promoters started coming up. New urban, I hate the word urban, but new,
it's one of those things, isn't it?
I hate that word with a passion. You know, new events started popping up that catered to the community, and that was a good sign because competition breeds excellence and it breeds new ideas, and people kept being bigger than the other promoter. And that was
imitation is flattering, isn't it? So.
It is flattering, and it's also it keeps you on your game. You know, like when you see somebody saying, "Oh, okay, you can easily replicate what I could do. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something that you can't do." You know, so and you keep going.
But that's also a testament to what you're doing.
100%.
When someone wants to copy it, do you know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, I'm on the right page because now people are trying to replicate it.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like clothing brands. Like you're not really that big until you have like a fake. Someone trying to replicate your designs, and
especially the tracksuits, man. Like I remember when the first tracksuit came on, and people were like, "What are you wearing?" You know, now all the high fashion brands doing tracksuits. I'm like, what the what's going on? You know.
So we ain't gonna just skate past it. Man said the homie Drizzy, you know. So would you say Toronto have always backed Drake from the jump, or you know what from your experience, obviously being close to him, what would you say is the trials and tribulations he had to go through in order to be where he is today?
That's a question he has to answer, but from my viewpoint, it was basically getting people to see him in that light. He was on Degrassi, he was an actor, and I remember him having a conversation with me saying he's gonna quit acting and he's gonna take the music seriously. And you know, up on that point, I think I've heard 2 songs, and I was like, you know what, YOLO, let's roll with it. I mean, the biggest thing was getting the city to buy in. But the music was undeniable. It just took a time for people to get it. I remember handing out CDs to a DJ and saying, "Yo, you gotta play this." I even paid the guy $20. I was like, "Yo, just put this on." And he's like, "What song?" I'm like, "Do what you do, play that." And he ultimately played it, and it was just a moment for us. But getting the city to buy in was the biggest thing, and I think he did it strategically. He played his part. That was the biggest thing.
I suppose you listening to that. How does that make you feel where you're being innovative with regards to Arabic rap? I think, you know, Jay saying, I personally went and paid a DJ $20 to spin a CD would show and indicate that it's not always about the artist and the person. You need a good team around you. You need good people around you.
You need some
believers. You know what I'm saying? Every time we pod, you come with the man them, do you know what I'm saying? Like you come with the squad. They innovate you and iron sharpens iron. They can see your views and perspectives.
It's because bro, music alone doesn't play along. Like, you know what I mean? Like you need you know, shout out to Lutek, shout out to Tartub in the background. And it's like a lot of them have other skills that can actually contribute. And if they have other skills and they believe as well in the same vision, that's deadly. Like it's just they can actually translate what are you doing in another platform. Like they can do it individual and the same. It's the same music. Like you can hear it and watch it, and people can, even the DJs, they can play it in a certain way, and they can actually mash it up with different songs that actually match the same vibe. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not easy. Like if you understand the music and the vibe, you can actually play it even in clothes. Like what I wear, it fits my music. You know what I mean? Like everything together, it makes it a lethal package, you know?
Yeah. So if you're in a situation where obviously you're finishing your album, you got one particular track that you think is super fire, but you play it to the mandem, and the mandem are saying to you,
trash.
Not sure this is not trash. I can't see anything that you're producing is trash. But bro, they say to you, you know what, bro, this ain't it. Bro, are you listening? Exactly. Are you like, how are you going about it?
I do. I listen. Like I can do like 5-6 tracks, and people are gonna be like, fuck with this one. This one is cool, but like this one is kind of out of range, and I know it because when I record it, I'm like, yo, I'm going overboard with this one because it feels different, you know? Like in 2019, I wrote some songs that I don't really fuck with right now because I was in a different space.
Yeah.
Like if I released, like for example, I did songs in 2019 and now I recorded a song 2 months ago. Now I shot a video for it. It felt
right. Yeah, the energy's right.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean like those tracks are whack, but it just, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
you can keep them. It's one of those tracks in the album where people can be like, oh, that's actually dope. But you want songs to actually, and choosing the right song for a video, that's another thing. Because like it can be a nice song, but it doesn't mean you have to shoot a video for it. You know what I mean? And this is it. Like it needs to feel right, and the vibe needs to
I suppose
right.
As an artist as well, obviously growing up in the UK, I've been around particular artists. You know what I'm saying? I've seen record labels be built from nothing to something that's arguably the hottest thing in the UK right now.
Yeah.
And it is about that. It's about catering to the fans. And what I've come to realize is that when you shoot videos, it's your vision.
Yeah.
But what you don't want to do is taint someone else's vision that's listened to the track. And now, because I feel like videos can make music sound different because of the visual. So it's weird. So 100%. You got to make sure that, you know, the visuals match what you're doing. Because I've seen people shoot music videos just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I know.
And like you could tell there's no effort that's gone into it. Yeah. It's not even relatable to the contents of the music. The storyline. So it's all got to make sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, I grew up loving watching music videos before I even do music. Like 100. I loved music videos. Like if you can mute it and watch it, then and you fuck with it, then you won. Yeah, that's basically. And when I edit music video, that's what I do. After I finish, I just watch the video muted with nothing. I just watch the visuals.
You know, that's a good way of going about things. And you know, just to segue nicely into this, we was talking about Flash Entertainment. I understand there is something bubbling called Regional Spotlight.
Regional Artist Spotlight.
Talk to me.
It's a passion project, to be honest. It's something
based in the UAE, right?
Based in the UAE.
Okay.
It's something that I wanted to build on what Flash has done previously. They have the Emerging Talent Competition, which is a competition based at the F1 Yasalam After Race program, where anyone that wants to do music could come and audition in a competition style.
Okay.
And then Regional Artist Spotlight is basically shining a light on artists that are a bit more seasoned, a bit more developed across the region, not just UAE. And we want to be able to leverage our resources, our marketing, our relationships with Virgin Radio, What's On, and give that to an artist for free. No, we don't need anything. Like, there's no like kickback. There's no like, oh, we're doing this with an intention or hopes of something in the future from you. Nah, it's like we want to build a platform. We want to shine light. We want to throw the resource behind it, because the biggest thing I've seen here is there's not much infrastructure here for an artist. There's a community, and it's bubbling, and it's vibrant, and it reminds me of Toronto in 2008. That's what it reminds me of.
Reminds me of the UK, I would say similar time as well. Yeah,
very, very early. There's a lot of stars, a lot of good voices, but there's no infrastructure to develop them even further. So Regional Artist Spotlight is giving them the media side of it, and then ultimately as we've done with Freek, and Freek is such a great testament of what Flash has built because he came from the emerging talent competition.
2016.
I didn't know what. So
I lost, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's winning in life. So you can't be mad.
I lost. I'm like, what? Bro, imagine one of those competitions where people like, you know what I mean? Like at the beginning they lose the all competition and then they start doing shit in life later on.
Yeah,
But that's the beauty of it. And now we're full circle. I mean,
exactly. It meant
he's
something.
a seasoned veteran and one of the leading voices in UAE when it comes to music. And it was just the perfect marriage where we've supported him from day one. Now we're going to continue to support him. And then when he becomes this big artist, even though we've had him open up for Future and Gucci Mane, when he becomes a big artist, hopefully we could be headlining his show.
Yeah.
So this is the ambition.
And it's about relationship building
100%.
as well.
I mean, everything we do is about relationship. You can't be a promoter. Just like he said, when he has his music, he's going to hit you up and be like, what's your opinion? He's going to hit you up and what's your opinion? Yeah. Because you want the community and you want people that you're around to feel a part of your process and your journey. And this is the same for us. I mean, it would be a disservice if we are this big entertainment entity with bringing international acts and not giving back to the local community in some manner.
I agree.
It just doesn't make sense. Thankfully, the CEO, he's also Canadian, John. He comes from music. He was a promoter. His whole genesis is behind music and everything. So he's adamant about this thing too. So it's not like it's a hard buy-in from the top down. It's very like, okay, I see the vision. I understand what it is. Go forth and make it happen.
Do you find it easier because you also believe in it?
100%.
Because I know working for a company, maybe an entertainment-based company, where you might be on particular projects where it's not your genre of music, or you might not believe in the art that's being made.
Yeah.
So that makes it more difficult to kind of navigate around. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're not necessarily passionate about it. So would you say like the Arabic scene, the Arabic rap is something that you can see from outside of the box doing well?
Yo, I want to tell you this. The next big star is coming from UAE. It's a fact.
See it there?
The next global star is coming out of the GCC MENA region.
Wow.
This is a fact. This is when we look at Arabic as a whole, it's like the number 3, 4 biggest language.
And people don't understand when you look at that, the demographic.
Yeah.
Even just like in terms of space and globe, like Saudi Arabia is massive.
Massive.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's big as Canada. 30 million people.
People don't really understand. If you've got like the whole of Saudi and the GCC and
100%.
everyone vibing to your stuff,
100%.
the streams are going through the roof.
Yeah, and listen, the ingredients is all there. You know, like when you look at Saudi, when you look at Lebanon, when you look at Bahrain, they all have infrastructure around them.
Yeah.
You know,
Big
so
facts.
it's just a matter of, you just need the one person with the flag, raising the flag and saying, I'm claiming it.
Yeah.
I'm owning it. And this is why I say to him all the time, I'm like, you're the leading voice right now. Arabic drill, you could be credited as the founder of it, you know, to be honest.
I get you.
I mean, people may come up or doing it simultaneously, but nobody's doing it like you.
Yeah.
So you could hold it and claim it. And I personally think, man, I see the vision here. I look at it, I'm like, this is 2008. This is 2009.
Wow.
I'm like,
We've lived this.
These guys,
We've seen
you know,
it.
when you've seen
Yeah,
it in
we've
the
seen it.
past, you could
We've
see
seen
the
it.
same thing
Yeah,
again.
facts.
And you're just like, yo, this is here. It's coming. It's bubbling. Guys like yourself and everybody else in the city are vying for that position. And it's like, it comes down to who has the best organization and the best
Definitely,
team.
I think one of the
So
key words you've said is infrastructure.
Yep.
I've seen so many people with a lack of management,
100%.
but with bags of talent,
100%.
but not able to go in the right direction
Yep.
because there's no infrastructure.
Yep.
Yeah.
With that being said, having heard what Jay's just said, do you feel pressure like with people saying, "Oh, you could be seen as the founder of rah rah rah, like Arabic drill rap"?
Yeah, it's like I don't think like the thing is I hate the word pioneer or founder. You know why? Because I got inspired.
Everything's
I got
influenced by
inspired. I got
something.
I got like fully influenced. I just had a little bit of a
Your sauce.
sauce. You know what I mean? I put the Salt Bay on
Bit
it.
of my sauce as well.
Yeah, and people are gonna
Yeah, bit of my sauce. You know,
Stealing the swag.
still my swag. I need my hat back as well, but I ain't gonna bait man up on that. Yeah, go on.
And it's just like, yeah, bro. And bro, I'm always gonna be a fan of music. And bro, like I did Joe in 2019, probably the first person to do Arabic Joe. And now I'm like, yeah, I want to do something else. You know what I mean? People now start doing drill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, cool. And I'm doing something else. I'm always gonna jump on something else, you know?
Which is
And
dope.
yeah. And I'm always like, I'm inspired about something else. Like I'm inspired about different genre. I listen to different kind of music every single day.
Yeah.
And now some people can listen to my drill music and be like, yo, when is your next track? I'm like, it might be not drill. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
really drill.
I think
Like,
also that what that does is it doesn't compress you.
yeah,
It doesn't put you in a
like,
box.
yeah.
100%.
You know, me and Jay might say, look, we don't necessarily know what you're saying, but we can feel the vibe.
Yeah.
And we can tell the difference between when it's on a drill beat and when it's on something a little bit more mellow.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
almost sounds like you're singing. Do you know what I mean?
facts.
Like, I know the vibes,
Afro.
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like that is good. Do you know what I'm saying?
true.
From somebody that's experienced building a company in the UK with regards to music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Having different avenues and different sounds and stuff like that. And I do think that comes down to the likes of a Drake. That I think that does come down to the likes of a Ja Rule,
Yeah.
a Nelly.
Yeah.
People that rap and sing
Yeah.
and are experimentative.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? Would you agree?
Experiment.
Those are great examples. Drake, Ja, and Nelly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
Facts.
said anything better than that. That's a perfect example because these guys transcend whatever they were doing at the time and said, I'm going to go left. I'm going to make country grammar.
Yeah,
and you're just
man.
like, yo, this is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
this
can't
is
help but vibe
yeah,
to it.
So
Yeah.
you always have to evolve as an artist because if you're stuck in what you were doing yesterday, that somebody's gonna come and catch up and do it better, and then you're left there
Facts.
Big
saying,
facts.
"Well, I started it."
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that doesn't bode well when you're not doing it 10 years later. When you're doing it 10, 20 years later, and you switch up, come back, do it again, and you're now where maybe Drake is, you could be like, "Yeah, this is part of my influence back to the community."
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear
And bro, and like coming back to the pressure situation, it's like, bro, if I'm inspiring people to actually do music again now, like a lot of people are hitting me up, hey, bro, you inspired me to do music because I thought it's a no, like I'm not supposed to do these things and following my dream and all of these things, bro. Because where I'm from, it's like, bro, it's kind of like, it's not allowed to dream. Like it's not allowed to think about these things. Like you're not allowed to even think about having this as a career. You know what I mean? And not even try to get money for your own sake and pay bills. It's like, first of all, are you really gonna do this music thing legit?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are gonna hit you up, be like, listen, bro, you should just go get a job. You know what I mean? And that's another pressure. Not even the pressure of hey, I'm the leading. That's my pressure.
Yeah.
It's just the community telling you, yo, are you gonna do this music for real?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be doing this music.
And that's
for real.
behind the scenes
You
as
can't-
well.
Yeah. And this is my pressure. It's not even about being the leader or whatever, the pioneer of
And you
things.
spoke about something as well when we had Mar on, and you guys were talking about the anxiety of uploading maybe a picture, a video. You don't necessarily know what the reception is going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So it's just a risk, and you just got to put it out there and just
Believe, yeah,
Believe.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Even my next video, like it's like that probably it's like one of the most, I think, one of the best projects I ever worked in because it's on that thin line where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I don't know how the community actually gonna see this, but I know for a fact deep down, I feel good doing it, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like I'm just gonna throw it to the
It's
universe.
a movie though, bro.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
100%.
movie. It's a movie.
You touched on something, Jay. You said about F1.
Yeah.
Now F1, I hold close to my heart. When I moved over in 2014,
Yeah.
obviously I was learning about Dubai, learning about the UAE, learning about Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. Young boy trying to find his feet. Do you know what I'm saying? You know the vibes. Young handsome boy at that.
Gallus.
You know the vibes. So yeah, 2014 was my first ever F1.
Dope.
And my boy Breaks, he's also in the
What's good?
building. Boy, we had some fun, man. I'm telling you, different. But I've not seen anything like it when, you know, the race finishes and it's fireworks and yachts and I'm like, yachts, bro. Like, do you know where I'm coming from? I've never even seen anything like this, bro. I've never even seen a boat, let alone a yacht. You know what I'm saying? So I hold that close to my heart, and we have some stories that we can tell off cam, and you know what I'm saying, you know the vibes. So with that being said, like, what's been your involvement with F1? F1 is massive, it's global. There must be so much of a spotlight. So was there pressure in providing the entertainment for F1? Who have you booked? You know, what dramas have you had? What successes have you had?
Yeah. Just like you, I've been coming to the UAE for a decade. So probably now 13 plus years with the 3 years living here. And when I first came here, I was I did all the Dubai things to do. And I stood in the desert and I was like, yo, this is a place for me. I was like, this is it. And then
it's a feeling, isn't it?
It was a feeling. It was just like a moment. Then I went to my F1, the first F1 event, to just see it because my buddy had some tickets. And I was like, the after race. I did the F1, the race, and then I watched the concerts. And when I went to the concert, I was like, and I'm doing events at the time in Toronto, and I just remember thinking to myself, how do I scale up to this moment? You know, like, how do I scale up to, I just remember asking myself that question. And it was a burning feeling. I always knew I was going to come back. I just didn't know in what capacity and how. So fast forward when...
that's called manifestation, by the way.
Listen, man, I think I'm a high-level manifester, and I thank the universe continuously because she's never doubted me or let me down. And when I came back, fast forward when I met the CEO of Flash Entertainment through mutual friends and him coming to Toronto, seeing the events I was doing, then meeting him in London while I was working with the boy and working, just going to the Weeknd show. I would introduce him to these people, and for him, he was like, we have nobody that has this kind of access on our team, and we've always had this role, but we never filled it. We'd love for you to come back. I'm just giving the backstory.
Go ahead.
To bring you guys to where I am at.
We need
today.
that. We need that. Because you know why? Sorry to cut you. There's people that's going to be watching this that want to do what you're doing, that want to work within artists, maybe artist management or booking artists and stuff like that. So it's important for you to go into the story. So go ahead.
So, when he brought me here, I've had the experience where we've done... we did all the events for the weekend. We've done shows with Drake appearing, or club stuff that are smaller, still 5,000 people. Yeah. And when I came here, he had so much confidence in me. He was like, listen, this is what we do. This is the events we've done. I don't think you're a fish out of water here. I think you're capable of doing this. And him instilling that confidence in me just made me feel like whatever I could do here, I'm going to do it and make the best of it. And I appreciate that forever. I think having a leadership that believes in you and gives you that confidence
definitely
creates different opportunity and allows you to build differently. So we came and I did the event F1. So my current role is it's called a talent manager, but it's really an entertainment manager. I mean, that's the equivalent in North America or wherever. And I'm responsible for selecting the artists. In some instance, I build a P&L. So I look at the cost of the shows and I say, okay, I'm going to go after, Jcole, whatever it is. I'm going to speak to the agent. I'm going to negotiate the fee based on what his technical and hospitality riders may cost. So we're going to source this information. And the beauty about this, we have a great team of professionals that have been doing this for the last 10 plus years. So coming into an organization that they've already had a lot of wins and successes was amazing. So me coming in now and saying there's an understanding of the music space that I eat, breathe, sleep, and live, I think this artist is going to do really well. So I book all the artists for F1, and one of my first endeavors or booking here was assisting the CEO to replace Kendric Lamar with Jcole. I mean, I would say he did all the work in this situation, but the madness of seeing it unfold and, where an artist you secured, you paid the deposit, and then they're like, all right, it's Thanksgiving.
And customers don't understand that. They just think it's smooth. Or why have you changed him? Like it's their fault.
Yeah,
exactly. They don't understand behind the scenes what's going on.
You can't blame an artist because there's obligations or things that they have to do that you know, I can't
contracted
say,
in and stuff like that.
I can't say you should be here or not. But for the most part, thankfully, everyone that we booked, with a small percentage of people that have canceled, showed up. So seeing that, how that unfold, I was like, yo, this is insane. You're dealing with multi-layers. You're dealing with, you know, the contracts, the agents, the artist manager, the tour manager. You're dealing with everybody, and you have to see this unfold in a disappointing manner. And that was like, okay, all right, I see what this is.
Yeah.
And I think the following year, you know, I booked the lineup, and I was really proud of it. One of the proudest lineup was having Post Malone and The Weeknd
Big.
On the same lineup and bill.
Crazy.
That was impressive. So yeah, I'm responsible for bringing all the live music entertainment component into Abu Dhabi.
And I think it's testament to Flash as well, because
100%.
when you see there's a space and you employ the right person that's
100%.
within that culture that can navigate in a certain way and do it justice, then it's only going to be beneficial.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? It's like employing someone to look after the culture, but they're not from the culture.
Yeah.
And I think people can hear this and take what they want from it, but there are individuals here that I've seen over the last 7 years that are not from the culture.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know what it's about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, but let's not culture vulture. Do you know what I'm saying? Or delegate those things to somebody else that knows what's going on.
Yeah, and the thing about me is, man, I care. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it 100%. And one thing about me is, if I don't know it, I'm gonna figure it out, or I'm gonna find somebody that can.
Yeah.
Because like my reputation is on the line of somebody that says, I'm gonna do this, so I'm gonna do it. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. If I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And I'll tell you that up front too. So, you know, being a part of this and being a part of some of the wins has been amazing. Again, there's a lot of surface stuff that I'm touching on, but
I
there's
can imagine.
There's so much interest. Like, and a lot of it is, you know, there's contractual stuff that you can and can't say about some artists, or some things you can't do, or whatever it may be. But for the most part, man, it's been such a wild ride to see 35 to 40,000 people. And the reason why the Weeknd show was so impressive was because this was also a full circle moment for me as well, where Cash is his manager, and I've had this conversation with you about Cash. Shout out to Cash, because he's truly a real one. Where in Toronto, he's come to us and basically say, all right, I want you guys to do these events, and I'm trusting you guys to do it. And we'll show up to Cash house with like a bag of money for the event, and Cash will be like, all right, I'll see you guys in like 4 weeks, and he'll show up. No contracts. Just a handshake, his word.
Real gentleman business.
Very gentleman, like
a man that sticks to his word.
100%. If he says it's gonna happen, he's gonna do it. And then on top of that, we'd be like, okay, we need him to, you know, come and do three songs or whatever it may be. He'll come and do the whole album. Like, this is just a testament to the team, EXO and The Weeknd and Cash, and Lamar, which is also my guy.
Right.
They basically say, you guys go do what you do best. We're going to make sure, we're going to stand off, we're going to do what we do best, and we're going to trust that you do what you do. Yeah. And again, relationships and that trust is so integral to this. So when I called him and I said, you know, the first year I came here, I said, listen, man, I want you guys to play F1. He's like, as long as the money's good. So as long as the money's good, I'm going to show
that
up.
Desert money hit different, boy.
He's like, as long as the money's good, show up. So when we did actually get the offer right, and when we did send it, I gave him the heads up first, and then he's like, all right, send it through my agent. And we sent it through. They ended up coming, and he agreed. And then when we got here, this is just one of the stories about the F1 madness. When he got here, I think I had Mr. Levier open.
Okay, shouts out to Mr. Levier as well.
Right? And I just remember, so the Weeknd's supposed to go on stage around 9 p.m., and Mr. Levier opened up about 7:30, 8. And I remember just being backstage, and I was like, yo, why is it so loud outside? Like, did the Weeknd go on stage? So I went up backstage and looked at the stage, and I was like, bro, there's literally 40,000 people in here.
Yeah, no joke.
I was like, there's like body to body, like 40,000 people out here. And there was at least another 10,000 people outside. Crazy. So on the radio, you know, I'm hearing our operations and project team saying, listen, it's madness outside and people are getting a bit restless.
Right.
It's going to be a situation. We're going to try and make sure everything works to the best that we can. Yeah. And they did. But there was 10,000 plus people outside that.
It's about management as well, man. It's
100%.
difficult. And some things can go so left. Like you could have everything lined up. Artist is ready to go out at 10 p.m.
And we take health and safety very serious because the customer's journey is the utmost importance, because we don't want you to come and say, that was a great performance, but the organization was trash. That's not how
you operate.
That's not how we operate. We're very, very serious about like customer journey and the health and safety experience.
And also, with that being said, you're not only representing your company, you're representing yourself,
100%.
which is first and foremost the most important. But also, if they haven't been to the region before, that's their experience about the region.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you don't get this right, you might not be able to get them over again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts. And bro, and for me, it's like the communication between the artist and the booker is the most important thing. Like when you come back, you don't want a guy that never been, like he never spoke to an artist before, and it's like even the lingo is different. Like he doesn't even listen to the music that this artist does, or he doesn't understand the whole.
And you can tell the difference between, because I've traveled with artists before from the UK, right? And we've met promoters before. And you can tell the ones that you meet and it's business. They want to get this done properly. And you can tell the difference between the ones that are like very excited and almost like too much of a fan, and now it's getting in between the way of the business. And now you're just flapping around, can I help you? Just chill. And do you know what I'm saying? Delegate the tasks, saying let's get this done. And after we can chat and whatever. But I understand it, but you need to have a certain level of experience, because when you're in the room with certain people, no one wants to feel anxiety. No one wants to feel like, everyone needs to be on their level in order to get the job done.
You're supposed to be there. You have to act like you're supposed to be there.
Absolutely.
If you act like you're not, then...
And Dubai is one of those places, shall I say the UAE is one of those places where you just might bump into anyone. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've been to F1 before, end up on a yacht, and Kevin Hart's there. Do you know what I'm saying? Ludacris is there. And like...
And I want to touch on the fact that you said, you know, like the whole... You have to have the experience to deal with these things. And just to touch back on the F1 show, when we had 10,000 people outside, they end up rushing the gate. Like they broke the gate down. This is like an iron gate.
Madness.
That got broken down. So there was 10,000 people rushing into the venue. There's already 40,000 people in there. And we have a situation where our head of operations, rightfully so, is saying, yo, we're gonna have to not have the weekend go on and slow the show down just so we could get a handle of this. And you know, me being from where I'm at and having the experience, I had to say, listen, that's not a good idea. If one, our job is to get the artist to get on stage and perform at the time that they say they're gonna perform at. So deviating from that, although it's a serious issue, it was going to cause more of an issue because now the artist is delayed, the reputation, you have 40,000 people that are angry, expecting the show to start, then another 10,000 people rushing in, making them worried. So we're like, listen, ultimately I had to say, the artist has to go on. He has to perform at this moment, and I had to get in between our operations guy that was then going to try and speak to the manager of the Weeknd, and I was like, let me do what I do, and you do what you do. And again, you know, everybody's excellent in what they do, but sometimes you got to be in the
read
middle
the room,
and be like,
assess the vibe.
Yeah, this is not a good idea. And you know, when ultimately Cash got wind of everything, he's like, yeah, my artist is going to perform at this time and you guys have to deal with it.
That's testament as well.
Yeah, and then when, you know, the event went successfully, he started, the lights went up, and you know, that's also my favorite moment, when the lights go down and then it goes up. That feeling, I love that every time. So he ultimately performed, and when there's 40,000 people singing the song, Cash looked at me and said, I hope you got another bag. I was like, no, man, this is not Toronto, bro. This is not Toronto.
I said, it's not your honor. Hey, listen, and it's testament as well, and it is about being composed. And like I was saying, like I've been on boats with certain high-end like celebrities, right? And I know who they are. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't act as if I don't know who they are. So, and I respect their work, so I pay homage. But there's a way to do that. Because being in the Middle East, you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So from the artist perspective, they're looking at me like, oh, there's a reason why you're on this boat as well, because
100%.
you must have the proper links and you're patterned up also. So there's that mutual respect.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so, but if you lose your composure and don't remember who you're talking to, but also like respect yourself a little bit as well and operate correctly, then things can go forward. Do you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you're swapping numbers with certain people. Then there's additional business to be had. Do you know what I'm saying?
And they're just, I mean, people look at celebrity like this external force to humanity. There's something different. They're just people.
Well,
I mean, being able to see a guy go from 0 to 1,000%, you understand that person prior to all the success was me, you.
Yeah.
We're all in the same room.
Exactly.
You know, now we just excel at what we do really well, but they're just people, and that's what I say. Act like you're meant to be there.
And you're right, and you are meant to be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there for a reason.
Yeah.
He's there for a reason. Yeah. We've all come to for business or and after to party and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's all got to make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? And 100%. I remember, like I said, my first F1, I said to my boy that flew over, I said, listen, we're going to go to this club. You know, we have a few links there. The table's sorted out, so we're gonna go there, enjoy ourselves. But don't go too crazy. Yeah, just you know what I'm saying. You're representing me. Yeah, you remember this? You remember this? You're laughing. Yeah, you're representing me. Be a little bit composed. There's gonna be some individuals in there that you may have seen on the TV. It's all good, but bearing in mind we're 22, 23. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? But where I've been around certain people, whether it's the UK, whether it's come here, I'm used to a certain level of exposure. So anyway, we've got in there. On the table, I think Levia was there, a few man that was with us, and next to us we had like, I don't want to say too many names, but like Kardashians and certain rappers and stuff like that. Anyway, he's a man that loves French Montana, innit? Right. I think we was in One Oak, yeah? So I said, look, the reason why I brought you today is because French is performing, blah, 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 blah. I think he's going to come on soon. Cool. He's a man like, when he starts to drink, yeah... Composure's out the window, right? Composure's out the window. So 2-2s now. I've gone to the toilet. I've come back. All I hear is French performing. Like, it's a small club though. Yeah. I've heard, man's on the mic, man's vibes in, da-da-da-da. So I'm looking for him. I'm thinking, where is he? Like, I'm trying to pour up a Henny. I'm trying to enjoy with him. Bro, tell me why when I turn around, he's on stage with French Montana.
That's lit though.
Man's like this.
That's lit.
But it was lit though. It was lit. And in all fairness to him, he embraced, man. And next thing you know, man's doing up ad-libs on the stage and that. I say, yo, you know, there's certain man you got, you know what I'm saying? But the energy is good, the vibe is good, and it just worked out.
Probably,
you know what I'm saying?
If it was cringe, the public French would be like, get on stage.
But it just was such a lit environment that every kind of anything went at the time. But it's important. With that being said, how easy is it to like liaise directly with artists, or do you just talk to their representatives? The reason why I asked is because, like I said, there's going to be people watching this that want to get into what you're doing. Like, what's the booking artist process? What are the things to look out for? You know, what due diligence do you have to do before even thinking about booking an artist?
First for me is do what you say you're going to do, and do it well, and have that reputation that you're gonna tell the artist and the agent that this is what's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen. And if there's any deviation, communication.
So structure.
So 100%, because this is a reputation game. You know, like if you mess up one time, it doesn't matter if you had 10 years of being excellent in what you do, you could be severely damaged. Yeah. So first is always that. You know, I deal directly with the agent. One, because we're a government entity, and in terms of contractual obligations and the agreements and payment flow management, it's better to make sure that you have the artist, the agent involved, and all of that things are secured. Yes, I have a relationship with artists, and in this example I gave you about Cash, I'll hit him up and say I'm sending an offer, and I send the offer to him and his agent, just so that everybody's in the loop. It's just a better way of doing it. These guys are paid millions to make sure that everything works for the artist, and as a government entity in terms of audit processes and making sure everything is right and good, you want to make sure you do that. So I would say if you could deal with the manager and the agent, do that. If you have to deal with the agent alone, that's fine as well. It's gonna get to the artist anyway.
So I suppose when you're working for a company that's reputable, there's like certain stages, there's certain things in place, and ways to go about things. Yeah. But I've seen it where like it's not as structured. You're not working for like a Flash or like a live entertainment, and you're dealing directly with their manager or stuff where it's a little bit more raw. It might be a club booking or something like that, not something as big as the F1 and stuff like that. So,
and
you've experienced that.
I've dealt with that. I've dealt with directly with managers and artists themselves.
Yeah, so. And I've seen it from both sides. I've helped with booking people and been with people that's been booked. Now, I wanted to ask you a question. A lot of artists travel over, and they may agree to the fee and they're going to do the performance, but there's certain not clauses, but stuff that they want kind of sorted before they come. Now, I've seen where you might book 1 or 2 artists, but them man are coming with all 15 entourage.
Right.
So how do you manage that? Is that, would you see that as your job, or once you've signed the deal in order for that person to perform, your job is now completed?
Yeah, so for the artists, they give us a hospitality rider and a technical rider. And if you're a smart artist, whether you're small or you're big, you're going to make sure that your 15 mans that come with you are in your hospitality rider.
Right.
Because accommodations and on-ground transportation is on the promoter. So on-ground transportation and hospitality, we take care of. So if you have your 15 mans in your hospitality and they need 10 king suites plus, presidential suite.
So is this something that you factor in to all the costs?
So this is part of the P&L. Yeah. So when I go to an agent and I say, okay, I want Freek. And I say, okay, do you have a current hospitality or technical rider that you can send over? So I know what his show looks like. So I know what the cost of the show would look like, or I could estimate those from our production team. And I have his hospitality rider where he says, you know what, I want to take care of Mila, I want to take care of Omar, I want to take care of these guys, I want to give them 10 king suites or whatever it is. That's my responsibility. We're taking that, we're absorbing that cost. If it's not in the rider, that's the onus of the artist. The artist is responsible for those guys. And like I said, if you're smart, you're going to want to make sure that any outside costs, and especially if they're essential people, you want to make sure that they're taken care of in that rider.
Have you ever been in a position where the secondary requests outweigh the profits?
Oh, 100%. I don't want to mention names, but we've done I'll just say it like this. We've done a New Year's Eve show. Okay. And we
could allude. We could do the maths and read it between the lads.
We did a New Year's Eve show.
It better not be me.
Facts. Is that
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we did a New Year's Eve show. And during the negotiation, they sent out their riders and their tech riders and all that stuff. And we've flagged a few items in there as we can't take care of this. And we've kind of agreed in principles, and we've sent the payment, the first 50%. We've sent that over already. And then they come back and say, listen, the artist needs these things, and they're not budging. We can't change the show. We can't redraw it. It's done. This is what they need.
That's a sticky one.
It's a very sticky one because, again, you're running a P&L. So when you find out what the artist costs, what you find out what the tech costs, the hospitality costs, and all the ancillary traffic management, all that other stuff, you know what this show is going to net you. And again, this game is slim profit margins. Yeah. You're lucky in some instances if you break even, because you have enough sponsorship and stuff to make it go. But yeah, we had that artist. The artist said, listen, we're not willing to do this. And that significantly changed the budget in a negative manner.
Right.
And it's something that we had to work through the motion and say, all right, we could give you this, but we can't give you that. And ultimately you get to a point. But yes, we've had a situation where the request that's not within the normal set of requests really damages the budget. So, and sometimes you have to be like, listen, do you want this artist? Is this artist big enough to support all the other stuff that you're doing? And then you got to make that decision.
I suppose it's an executive decision to be made 100%. As well, because what people don't understand is you might break even. If you're able to break even, that's still good business because now you have that relationship with the artist.
sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to-
Reputation.
yeah, 100%.
So, and it's free promo as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So you might have not gained a dirham,
Yeah.
but you've gained experience. You've
Yeah.
gained a
Tourism.
relationship.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're affecting the local economy in a
right?
positive
People
way.
coming
Yeah.
traveling to the country to
Yeah.
see certain things. And I remember when Eminem was performing.
Yeah.
I was in that concert next to people that came from Bahrain. Like there was 10 of them, 15, and it was their first time in the UAE, and they
Yeah.
came straight from Bahrain just to watch Eminem perform. Like certain things like that makes
Yeah. You can't put a price on that. You know,
can't.
sometimes those are the great things, and that's the exciting part about Flash is like, yeah, it's not only we're an entertainment company, but we're also building community and culture across the UAE. And you can't, again, that just gives you so much purpose. When I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, it's not just a party, it's not just a concert. It's like, okay, we're looking at everything as a whole and saying, all right, the businesses that are in this space also are supported by it, whether it's the hotel, whether it's flights, whether, you know, all these
Everyone
things are,
eats.
everybody eats. And that's the exciting part of it. And
Yeah.
when you look at it like that, you're like, okay, yeah, we'll make money here, we'll break even here, and if it's a loss, do we look at him? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And that's kind of our.
Because you can
rationale.
broker separate deals with, i.e., hotels and
Yeah.
merchants and stuff like that in order to cover costs and stuff like that. So it does come full circle. But,
but like the F1 show, like the after concert is a legendary thing for people that grew up in Abu Dhabi. Like
100%.
it's like you wait for that day religiously. Yeah, bro.
speak on that. Like,
It's
what-
like, bro, because obviously because I worked in the F1 2009, the first F1 they ever had. Bro, and I remember we went to audition. There was like 10 people from well, never worked before, broke. We're like, listen, there's an opening for a job in the ticket box office, and I remember it was the first time I ever been in a like 30,000 like big show like that, you know, and just to be involved around it, I was like, I worked for like 14 hours a day, bro. For 3 days, you know, I remember that, Amar?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's something that you look up to. Obviously, I can't pay for those tickets. So I'll just be close to it and, you know, work just to watch a bit from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously the year after, I knew a couple of people that actually, you know what I mean? And got my way in and watched the show without me working in there, you know?
Yeah.
And, obviously, they used to have Beats on the Beach, and that was one of the things. It was a free concert.
I've seen
on the
Rio
Corniche.
Aura perform there. Shout out to my boy
Travis Scott.
Dexter. He comes over, does the drums and that. So and it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
all goes
and it's
hand
like
in
it's a
hand.
free concert, and people were like, "Wow, that's all of these artists for free."
Yeah.
And in Corniche, like you don't even have to drive; you can walk from home and watch the show. And one of these things that built the country, like entertainment, and made us think of, oh wow, I want to be performing in that stage, you know. And before that, it was we didn't know what is it, you know.
I think that goes to show that the region is quite forward thinking. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
They had this foresight. They knew it's going to be what it is today and have that allure. I think one of the benefits of obviously here, other than like weather, is the culture, the luxury lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, people come here and get the bag as well. So it's just win-win for everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? As long as
100.
everything is sorted nicely. I wanted to ask a mad question though. Right, so
Come on.
maybe we got a rapper from America, for example, bubbling, going off, maybe the hottest thing right now.
Cheers.
Okay, little bad man or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he phones you and says, "Yo, I want to book in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or you know what I'm saying, Middle East. I need you to look after me, sort everything out." There's a high demand for that person, so you'll be able to arrange it. He gives you, you know, the secondary things that he needs. However many sweets for the man's, them and all that, and he says, "Yo, Jay."
Wow. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So how do we go about that?
I don't.
He's a smart man.
I mean, I know.
You don't do them things.
No. It's not something I do. You know, I'm always gonna say, here's this person that can take care of you. You know, like it's a different stage of my life. You know, when I was younger, doing nightclub stuff. I mean, maybe I know some people that might want to meet this person and say, okay, I set the scene.
Yeah.
You know, I set the scene. I don't Like
100%.
I don't facilitate. I say,
Right.
here's the environment, here's the place.
But that could be a
here's-
requirement. As much as we're
100%,
bantering and jokering,
100%.
that can be the requirement.
No,
Like,
it is a requirement.
I'm
It
going.
is a requirement.
You know, I need
Yeah.
X amount of bottles after the show, and I need some women. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a requirement.
No disrespect. Obviously, I'm playing. It's
Yeah.
it's a bit of banter.
Nah,
But
you know, you
with
have
that being
rappers
said,
rappers do ask for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it is what it is.
like, is there a department in your
No. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. We don't do none of that. So we keep it all the way classy.
Yeah.
Do you have any wild stories? Maybe not in that particular.
Man, the wildest stories I can't even speak on. No.
Word?
No, yeah.
Okay,
You know,
then.
when like you say, you gotta act like you were meant to be there. That also
Yeah.
means not talking about the
Absolutely,
moments that you
absolutely.
had. So
Yeah, I can
you know,
imagine.
I've had some good moments. You know, I've been fortunate to have, you know, when you see these tweets going around and saying dinner with Jay-Z, I've been fortunate to be in that setting where I had dinner with Jay-Z.
Talk your shit.
And like I said, when I was younger, when I was coming up and being in the night space, I would have, you know, 20 female friends that I'll take to places because they want to be a part of.
And it's business.
Yeah, it is. They want to know where the fun things are,
Yeah.
and these are the homies. It's not like, oh, there's a use exchange. It's just, yo, we're all going to a place, me and the homies and some girls. And yeah, I had dinner with Jay-Z, and I remember coming down. It was at Soto. And I remember coming down, I got a text like, yo, come through the Soto. And I was doing my event. And when you're doing an event, everybody's like, yo, what's the move after? And I was like, okay. I told people who needed to be there, I was like, yo, we're going to go to this dinner. And I remember coming down, and I was the first guy going down the step. And when I came in, I said hi to everybody. I was just like, you know, being cordial. And then after I came in, there was literally 20 women that walked after me. And I just remember Jay looking at me like, who's this? Who's this guy? He literally asked me, like, who's this guy?
Wow.
Who's this guy? He was like, who's this guy?
Sticky one.
And that was like kind of a cool moment, you know, just being able to be a part of that.
Nah, that's sick though.
But yeah, I mean, listen, man, I've had wild stories.
That's the rule, you know, phone in the basket. If you go anywhere, yeah, after parties and they're like, right, no phones, you know it's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, there's times where I'm like, I can't even come into this establishment. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's
100%.
going off, and I don't even want to witness certain
And
things.
Toronto was great at that because, and this is the only thing that's kind of missing here, where there's this like, what does artists do after they perform and after they've done their obligation? Some of them will go out to dinner and keep it really tight, but the community isn't involved in that. There's nobody alley-ooping these things. If Freek is on the trajectory to be the artist we all believe he is, I'm sure he'll become that guy who'll be like, you know, Mr. Levier, come through, you come through, everybody come through, we're having a dinner with this big artist that's here. Toronto was good at that. We had a lot of private parties, we had a lot of open bars, we had a lot of things that you had to be there. You get a text message, you're like, all right, cool, bet, I'm coming.
And I think that, sorry to cut you, the key word there is private.
Yeah.
Nothing's private anymore.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think
No
like,
phones, no nothing.
Yeah, that
exactly.
there's a leisure in that. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's some
people want to
crazy
go.
stuff happening behind the scenes or anything, you know. But it's like
Just respecting the
actually
space.
just
Yeah.
respect the person's space, respect the artist, and on top of that, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It
Those
doesn't
are the
mean
best, man.
no phones doesn't necessarily mean you can't record anything
Yeah.
because it's going to be a madness. It might just mean come here and enjoy yourself.
You know what's the thing? Like a lot of people go to certain places to show their followers, I've been to those places.
Yeah.
It's not for him.
Yeah.
He probably not even enjoing chilling with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh, Jay-Z's, let me show people that I'm with Jay-Z. And he probably is going to take a couple of videos and leave because he's like, done. I did
And they
my
will
job.
pick up on that. And
Yeah.
then that you've
Of
kind of
course,
you might have ruined the relationship there
Yeah.
because they're like, you're obviously not familiar with
why
these
are you
sort of
taking
settings.
It's like I always say this to people. It's like when you're with your homie, do you just pull out the camera all the time and be like, yo, I'm taking a photo?
It's
with
weird,
you?
man.
Nah,
Exactly.
it's
It's weird.
Yo, I've shown him some photos that I have, and he's like, yo, you don't have these posted anywhere. I was like, nah, for what? Like, I don't need to validate to anybody that
I bet it's on the
may or
cloud
may
though.
not- It's definitely on the
You
cloud.
only
It's on
back
the
it up
cloud.
like 9 times just to make sure.
I have pictures with celebrities or people that, you know, are influential.
Yeah.
But I don't need to validate that with everybody. I mean,
Big
like
facts.
that's not a thing for me. Again, these people, I really respect them as individuals and for what they do. I'm more inspired by their process, like being able to sit in a room with these guys and be like, oh, that's how you came up with that bar, or this is how you look at this creatively. Like even speaking to this guy, I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like I talked to this guy, he's like, yo, I got the single next week. It's not even next week. 2 days later, they're shooting the video.
Rapid.
3 days later, the music video is coming out. And that to me is more exciting than trying to take a photo or getting an autograph. It's that exchange of ideas and understanding that person's journey. I'm always excited about the journey.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And there are individuals that go out and they can't even enjoy the night until they've had that picture.
Yeah.
It's like chill, enjoy the setting, and
100%.
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what's supposed to happen doesn't pass you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've almost put myself in artist shoes. When I travel with certain artists, it's about understanding them as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I've had big artists from the UK come out or even go to shows in the UK, and you might be looking at them from a distance saying like, he's a bit off or edgy, but there's a certain level of anxiety there. If you've coming from the streets, right, and now you're a big international artist or whatever else, you don't necessarily, you're still trying to work out who is a fan or who's trying to attack who's trying to attack you. So there's that certain level of PTSD still there. So
100%.
you have to understand that and give a man his space to be able to operate.
1,000%. I agree with that.
100%.
That's I say this, and I say this in this context. I don't know if I could be a celebrity. Like I love my privacy so much that I don't know if I could exchange that for fame. You know, and it's always like when I see people in that light, there's this level of respect for them because I know what they're giving up because I've seen it firsthand, you know, and I know the pressure and the responsibility that comes with it. Like when you're out now, you have to behave differently. You can't go certain places because if you're seen there, it may not be a good
certain messages.
Yeah, you can't send certain messages because there's a screenshot. Like, so there, that responsibility and that like pressure that comes with it, I want none of it. I like to be behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
There's so many rooms that I've been in that some people may not even know who I am. They don't even know what I bring to the table or why am I even there. And I love that. I love that like being hidden. Like the people that need to know, and the people that don't know are just like, this guy's.
I think that mysterious bag is sometimes the best one because you're just sitting there analyzing stuff like that. And people respect that as well. Yeah. Some people meet certain individuals and they just expose themselves. Yeah. They oversell. Yeah. And now you're selling yourself short because you've just all the cards that you had up your sleeve. You just show. You're just trying to impress people.
Who you are,
Now people don't really want to know who you are. Or there's nothing else to you. Yeah. You know, I've always said to myself, I don't mind being anywhere but everywhere. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the more I'm around is, you know, my price goes down. Yeah. So it's about preserving your presence. Do you know what I'm 100%. Saying? Like so.
And not everyone deserves your energy. You know, like that's a big thing for me.
Talk your things.
Like I really read the room, you know, and I could understand who, like you said, that PTSD, who's a threat, who's out here for using a service or trying to leverage something from you. And I understand that. And listen, man, I believe that people are meant to be used, but not like abuse or misuse them. Like Absolutely. You're supposed to be able to share ideas and exchange things, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people that take advantage of that. Absolutely. And I don't like that. I don't like being in an environment. And when you're in the entertainment, you get exposed to all gamut of people. Fact. Like, I'm sure I know over probably 1,000 people legit, like, and you get to see all these kind of like personalities and intentions. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm good with the 6 people I know.
Yeah. Because you could trust them. You know what I'm saying?
Because I trust them, you know?
With that being said, I want to thank you for coming on.
I appreciate that, man.
And we'll definitely have you on again, man. Give it another 6 months. We get the geese back on again. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the vibes post-COVID and we make some moves behind the scene, but we're going to chop it up anyway.
Of course.
Anything you want to add?
Man, bro.
Pleasure.
My G, really.
Pleasure.
Drop some gems and that's it.
When I touch down to the 6,
one more thing, and
look after the kid.
I want to say one more thing to the artists that they should look into. What's a hospitality writer and what's a tech writer? Because a lot of them don't know what it is. And then they complain about the promoter not taking care of certain things. Yeah. You need to be ready. You need to have a PDF ready and send them a week before you show just to know what it is.
And you could Google these things.
Yeah, do a certain level of due diligence as well. Like you said, you can Google these things because I've heard you say P&L quite often.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't necessarily know what that means.
The budget, profit and loss.
But with that being said, you can Google it. If that's something that you're trying to achieve and be in Jason's shoes, then Google it, find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's loads of stuff online. As much as you can listen to somebody's experience, everyone's got there might be a blueprint there, but everyone's got their own path. But you have to put in the work, innit? With that being said, this is the crossover. Thanks for tuning in.
Gang.
Love, nothing but positive vibes. I don't even think I said it, but yeah. If you've come all this way and you're at the end, then subscribe, like, all that good stuff. I know you're gonna kill me.
Because they're at the end, I'm gonna spill a little secret about F1 this year.
All right. Then.
No, I'm not.
You know when you clip it, so everyone waits to the end. Anyway, with that being said, the crossover, love.
Thanks. Gang.